الأعزاء الأصدقاء، تحياتي وتقديري. المنتدى العربي الأوروبي للسينما والمسرح نحييكم في هذه الليلة الفعالية. الشعر بكل اللغات: العربية، الإنجليزية، الفرنسية، السويدية، الكومارية أو النيبالية. مرحبا بكم جميعا. نحن الآن مع بعض الأصدقاء الذين حضروا: الكوماري النيبال، سمير بيا تونس، أستاذ صبري يوسف سويد، notre friend الستار براين كارلسون. ويلكم جميعا. احنا نعمل هيك، نقول ويلكم جميعا، نعمل انجلش عربيك. Donc bienvenue tout le monde cette émission aujourd'hui. Donc la poésie libre, open. Donc, on va commencer maintenant. On commence maintenant. Sabri, on commence. أعمل لك you can يعني talking open about not evenement. Welcome. يلا أستاذ صبري، اعمل لك كلمة افتتاحية بسيطة، رحب بالأصدقاء، وبعدين خلي الأستاذ براين يبدأ.
نعم. Hey, hello all over the world, Mr. Brian Carlson from America. You welcome to this meeting about reading some poems in English and other language. You welcome to this meeting. Hello.
Thank you.
Tilkomari Sharma. Hello, my dear friends Samir Baya and Hamid Oqabi. All of you, you welcome. I want to let the word to you, Mr. Brian, to recognize yourself and give some words about your painting and your business in the art. You're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. It's so nice to be here with you all. An honor. I'm a human rights artist activist born in the United States, as you've mentioned. I've been living in Argentina for several years now, where I've been doing a long-term project called Aparecidos. It's a memorial to the disappeared in Latin America victims. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, there was somebody talking.
Yes,
okay,
welcome.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, it's the memorial is a memorial to the desaparecidos, the disappeared victims of state terrorism, primarily in Latin America. But over the years, I've extended it and began including Palestinian martyrs in maybe 2018, 2016, I don't know. There's 3,000 portraits in this Aparecidos memorial now of people who were victims of state terrorism in different countries, mostly in Latin America, some in the Middle East, Iran, Yemen, and Palestine. Also people from the United States, but to draw it up to the paintings I've been doing since October of 2023. When that occurred, I already knew immediately that this was going to be overt genocide. There seemed to be no question. And I had, as I said, I'd begun painting Palestinian martyrs a number of years earlier when the Great March of Return or the Land Day event occurred, and the Palestinians, as you know, moved to the fences and were shot by the IDF. In mid-October, then I began painting these paintings like this one behind me that are based on images coming from Gaza, retelling the stories essentially that photographers, photojournalists, and just normal people with cell phones were passing to the world at the risk of their own lives, Many of them losing their lives in the process, the photojournalists being shot, as you all know. So I think I have more than 80 paintings so far, and you're welcome to look at those on my Facebook page and share them. And that's all I do is I make them, I share them, people can reprint them, People can use them to do fundraisers, whatever they want to do, make posters, carry them in marches. It's my activism to provide these things and hope that they can be useful to others. In addition, I've been exhibiting them wherever I can. In Argentina, we have a unique problem in that Argentina, to my knowledge, has the second largest population of Jewish people outside of Israel, second only to the United States. It may be third, I don't know, second or third. But consequently, there are many Zionists here, including the president, who's a convert to Judaism, according to himself, and he's a Zionist. And so there's a lot of antipathy towards Palestinians, unfortunately, institutionalized here. And the events are, the police are getting increasingly repressive at the marches and at various events. And they would like to, of course, criminalize pro-Palestinian activism. But of course, we have to continue all the more so because of this, make a larger effort. But in any case, this is what I do. I also regularly write things on my Facebook page and my thoughts, and share articles and share things from Hamid and from others all over the world that are pertinent to this Holocaust, to this genocide. You all know about that. Nothing needs to be said about to convince any of us that this is genocide. But I think it is important for us to agree that the governments of the world are not going to end this. The United States won't end this. It could. All it has to do is defund the IDF, but it will not do this. The government of Israel it's a pariah state. They're completely out of control. They're not going to end this. So it's up to us. It's up to the people to do all we can. And thankfully, there's a growing tide of people, as you all know, doing this all around the world. I'm just happy to be one of them and to be with you, to march along with you in this important, critical time. Thanks.
Thank you very much about your speak, and I want to ask you about inspiration. How you inspire your painting during the situation which happened in the Middle East? And the second question, how you see that we can come to a point which led us to the peace? Can we achieve peace in the Middle East or in any country in the world? You're welcome.
Great questions. The inspiration, well, as I said, I'm a human rights artist. So to me, the issue isn't first and foremost about this country or these people or this religion or that race. It's about human beings.
Yes.
The Palestinians are obviously, I don't need to tell you this, we're all equals. We should all respect one another. I think we have one human family, and we've chosen to call it by many names. So these are my sisters, these are my brothers, these are my mothers, my children. To me, I don't need any more inspiration than that. Excuse me, I get kind of choked up. The second question was not about peace. I think there was a second question before the one about peace. What was the second question? Oh, I lost the audio.
The second question is how we can achieve peace in the Middle East or in any other country. Have you some idea about this big subject which happened in the Middle East for many, many years ago till nowadays?
I have thoughts. I don't have the answer, but I have thoughts. I can't, personally, I think peace in the Middle East will require Palestine being recognized as a sovereign nation with full membership in the United Nations, and the respect of the world community, equal respect. With that not happening, there can be no peace. I don't see it. That being said, aside from that, the IDF, the Israeli death forces, as I call them, have to leave Gaza. They have to leave the West Bank. They have to go back to Israel where they came from. This has to happen. You would have to have a permanent ceasefire to have any kind of peace. But peace isn't just the end of violence, as you all know. Peace is a dynamic process of people cooperating with one another, respecting one another. And for this reason, obviously, Palestine has to be absolutely free. I would think that they would have to return to the pre-1967 borders. Israel has to end the brutal apartheid. It has to end the illegal occupation. The settlements have to be returned to the rightful owners. I mean, this is only justice. This is respect. Short of that, how could there be peace? It would just be capitulation. It would be domination. It would be more control. These things are not peace. So, the question is, can this occur? And obviously, Israel is not working towards this occurring. Israel wants the greater Israel that we've seen on maps held up in the United Nations by Netanyahu himself. No Palestine on it, no Palestine. The United States is not trying to stop this war. It's not a war. It's a genocide. But the United States, Trump is not trying to stop it. I think his concept. Trump is a mentally disordered individual, severe mental disorder. So trying to figure out his mind is a journey into craziness. But aside from that fact, I think in his mind, he has this concept of peace, but his concept of peace is one where Israel is a dominant nation in the Middle East, and whatever we settle for or go to will be very much prioritizing Israel's interests, and he will be able to set up his Riviera in the Middle East with Trump Towers along the shores of Gaza. It's a mad, in a sense of crazy fantasy. So Trump is not moving towards peace. He's moving towards some kind of fantasy. There are other countries. Yemen has stood up for Gaza, as you all know. Spain is now making some very strong statements. Ireland has always been with Gaza. But I think it's up to the people of the world. I think we have to have more than the percentage we have right now on the streets, demonstrating, the strikes, the boycotts. These are all effective, but it has to be a larger percentage of people that absolutely refuse to have their tax dollars spent to murder children, to starve 1.8 million survivors to death. It has to be a huge act on the part of the people. Those are my thoughts. Is that possible? I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if it can happen. I believe it will happen, but I don't know if it's possible, if that makes sense.
Thank you very much about your answer.
Brian, you can please, you can reading your poems.
Who?
You have to, yeah?
I don't have poems. What poems
you
do I
have not.
No.
Okay.
Oh, the poem. You said I just wrote some poems. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't have those in front of me. No.
Okay.
Maybe later if I find them.
Okay. His art is painting. His art is painting. We have written poetry. Your art is painting. Yes. You have to mention about painting. That is
yes.
the achievement. Yeah.
Yes. You're right. I wrote some text to go with one of my paintings. I didn't bring that with me, unfortunately. Maybe I can find it while you're all talking.
Okay. Painting also is art.
Thank you.
Poetry. Okay, talk about painting.
Thank you.
تفضل أستاذ صدرك الآن. ممكن تقدم تيل كوماري، وإذا كان في أحد الأصدقاء عنده سؤال لبراين ويلكم. قل إذا في أحد الأصدقاء. أستاذ سمير إذا عندك سؤال لبراين. براين ناشط يعني كبير جدا.
حقوق الإنسان.
Very activist about the Palestine, about the Yemen, about
anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Brian Carlson. And now you're welcome. Now we go to Teal Komari Sharma. Teal, would you please, you can choose any poems of your poems and read it in your language. You're welcome to this meeting.
Okay, yeah. I'm Tilkumari Sharma from Nepal, and I am internationally awarded poet, writer, essay, translator too. Okay, now in the previous time I had recited my Nepali poem. Now today I am going to recite my English poems about war and conflict, which are written yesterday or the day before yesterday. These poems are I am going to publish these poems in Nepal. Okay, War and Conflict. The title of my poem is War and Battlefield. The world is sick with conflicts. Political conflicts are there. Religious conflicts are there. Racial contradiction is there. Gender conflict is there. Color discrimination is there. Then the cultural war is there. The war of rich and poor is there. The war of developed and developing countries are there. The war of developed and developing countries is there. The war of Mongol and Aryan is there. Really, all are in conflict due to loss of humanity in all. Really, all are in conflict due to loss of humanity in all. Okay, the second poem. War is a desert of human mind. War is a desert of human mind. The war is a negative in the world. It is the death of human mind. From historical time, the war is regular, like a recurring nightmare. The war has killed many people, but they are buried in the same own grave. The death of human is tragic. The war is the poison in the unity. The battlefield is filled with bloodshed and broken homes or hearts. The world is continuing to being many battlefields, but no country is here to pause war and conflict. Rather, the energetic country inspires to continue war by favoring one side. So conflicts are leading the battlefields. The conflicts are leading the battlefields. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much about your poems also. I want to ask you, Teal, about writing your poems. How you inspire your ideas when you write down any of your poems?
Okay, I am inspiring to write poems seeing the world situation, war around the world, and the war of the Palestine and Israel, and a war of the Russia and that Ukraine. Many people are dying in the war. Even in our Nepal, civil war was there at that time. We felt very difficulty to get a job. We had difficulty to be secured our moral because of that such conflicts. And the poetic idea is very easy to write because a situation is reported in my words.
Fine. I noticed that you take care of very, very much about peace, and your poems is about the peace because you struggle during the peace issue in general. Have you the right? Have I am right?
Yeah, because showing the conflict of the war, I am going to demand the peace by the world leaders or the political leaders because every intellectual seeks peace. If the people have scholarly mind or the egoist mind, then there is a peace. Now, more people in the battlefield are intelligent because they all want battlefield and all inspires another country giving the weapons. That is not wisdom. Wisdom is to bring the peace. The
Exactly.
poetry demands peace.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Now we can go. Thank you very much, Til Komari Sharma from Nepal. Now we go now to Mr. Samir Baya, the writer and poet. Mr. Samir, have you any poem in English or French or Arabic? You can read it, which language you choose. You're welcome. يعني الآن معنا الأستاذ سمير بيا، تستطيع قراءة مقاطع شعرية أو قصائد شعرية باللغة الفرنسية أو الإنجليزية أو العربية. تفضل. ويلكم.
مرحبا بك أخي. ويلكم فور براين فور شارما. أوكي أخي، راح أقرأ بالعربي وممكن نترجم إن شاءت. أنا سأقرأ نص قصير حتى يتسنى له الترجمة.
نعم.
يعني طبعا نحن في سياق حضاري معين، يعني طبعا ندافع بالكلمة على السلام، فور بيس. يعني سأقرأ هذا النص، نص قصير كما قلت أخي. عنوانه هو رقص الرصاص في جسدي. لو سألوك يا أمي كم انتفاضة انتفضت حين أز الرصاص في أعصابي وحاصر عظامي، قولي ذا كبدي، قولي ذا كبدي ينهل فرحا بالنار، ذا وجهي ينسكب لثما للحجر. لو منع الرصاص تجولك في قلبي، لو منع الرصاص تجولك في قلبي، قولي للرصاص أن يرقص في صدري، أن يدق مسامير رائحته في رأسي، له أن يصرخ بلا صوت بلا لغة، ولي الصوت واللغة، وصدري المحموم أرجه ضلعا ضلعا، فينبت الحجر في كل نقطة من جسدي المفتت، على الشاشة المعتمة، في الراديو الأخرس، على صفحات الجرائد الصفراء. يعني هذا نسق سنين، وكذلك هو فيه دعوة إن شاء الله لي أن نجد طريقا إلى السلام ونهاية هذه الحرب، يعني هذه الحرب البشعة. نرجو أن تنتهي من كل العالم، ليس من فلسطين فقط. نحن دائما دعاة سلام، ودائما دعاة يعني هذه الروح الإنسانية، دائما نبحث عن هذه الروح الإنسانية رغم ما يحدث في قاع عدة على الأرض يعني المعمورة. دائما نبحث على، دائما يكون صوت الشعر وصوت السلام، صوت المحبة الإنسانية، ودائما نبحث عن هذا الصوت الذي يكاد يغيب فينا أخي. شكرا لكم.
شكرا لك أيضا. Thank you very much, the poet Samir Baya from Tunisian. I want to abbrev in Kurt Urd, very abbrev this poem. His poem is about a peace. It was a conversation between him and his mother, and he want to say the peace is very important to all over the world when we want to spread it. Thank you very much, Mr. Samir Baya from Tunisian. If you have any comment, Mr. Brian, you're welcome again. Good evening.
I wish I understood more languages than I do. That's my first comment. I envy you, your ability with many languages. I did find the text that Hamid was referring to, if you'd like me to read that. It was a poem, sort of, that I wrote about the first painting I did for the Gaza series painting. Would that be appropriate to read now?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. So you like reading my poem in English?
I have. I could read your poems in English.
Yes,
Let me see.
You can read my poem in
okay,
in
let me
English.
see.
Why not? You're welcome.
Let me see if I can find it.
I will.
I've got She and He, 3 poems by.
Yes,
by,
3 poems.
Hold on.
This is in short.
Okay. Yes, I have them now. 3 poems by Hamid Oqabi. May I read them now?
Yes.
You can.
Okay. And this is a translation to English as best as I could do.
Translation
the first
by
is
Muhammad al-Makhlafi.
yes, right.
Yeah.
The first is titled Until the Night's Last Breath. O enchanting innocent, stay with me till night's last breath. Let us not script the tale ahead, for Shiva has lost his crown. They say it is a cloud that shades lovers. He fashioned a new hat from blue bamboo, arrived hungry. Mistaking it for bread, he devoured it, then danced with glee, running forth to seek a woman. We awaited the wind and the cloud, yet silence swept in, killing the song yet to be born. Shiva forgot his name, wandering in a boundless veil. Oh, my miraculous love, why are you not here? Chaos reigns in the sky, and mad melodies dance on the earth. The city has stripped its windows and doors, gathering traces of our steps and first kiss. Shadows of virgin trees entwined, while roses bloomed, heavy with our dreams. Suddenly, I found myself in that valley, crowded with hedgehogs, remembering my beloved Durga's face. Her laughter and songs of open windows. I hear her whispers, stay with me until the night's last breath. The second poem is called The Sea. The sea conceals cities and villages, boats and countless treasures swallowed long ago in its depths. Time is a child that knows no age, yet its hair and nails grow long like a wild thicket of thorns. Its face turns yellow with acacia blooms as waves stretch their limbs to the shore only to be devoured by the sands. The waves dream of wandering through city alleys, carrying tales of buried towns, yet no one has learned their language. The third poem, entitled My Final Verse. Jesus returned to reclaim his severed head, wandering through crowded streets, yet found no museum of mankind. No one noticed him. Angels offered no aid. They said chaotic protests stormed the sky 100 days before Judgment Day. God prepares to don the cloak of justice, having bought a hammer forged from light. It is whispered to be a day of strife and turmoil. Morning broke. The sun rose in the east, yet the day fell dull and lazy. After a while, no one remembered what had passed. Jesus found his head and chose to dwell in the Koigara forest, where shadows whisper secrets. Heaven decided to send a new prophet, choosing a poet from the dark ancient woods for this task. Perhaps in a year, I will return to Sana, desiring nothing at all. I seek only a cup of Sanaya wine to gaze at the sunset through a stained glass window and write my final verse. Brilliant poems.
Fine. Thank you very much about your reading. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Very nice.
أستاذ صبري الآن دورك. أنا أخذت دوري مع براين قرأ القصائد بتاعتي.
Okay.
الآن قدم نفسك و welcome أستاذ صبري. Now reading أستاذ صبري talking about you and reading some poems. Welcome. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, in the beginning, I want to recognize myself in briefly briefly, my name is Sabri from Syrian. I live in Stockholm more than 30 years ago. Yes, are you asking me something? Okay. I write poetry, novels, roman, and articles, and at the same time I am an artist. I draw and painting in many styles. I can send to you, my dear Brian, my paintings. I have more than 200 paintings in different styles. My paintings is about Fred, about peace, love, and about gaiety, because I want this atmosphere in general. Now I want to read from this book. This book has translated into English by Salman Kuraimun from Indian, some of Indian's island. My book called The Song of Life. The Song of Life is 10 books in one book, and every collections contain of 100 pages. This book is 1,000 pages in Arabic, but in English become about 800 pages. I want to read a bit of this book. The Song of Life, Part 1, Free Verse. To the memory of the innovated poet, Father Dr. Yusuf Said. Time has lost its whiteness. Mountains have lost their loftiness. Men have lost their sublimity, their words. Roses have lost their fragrance. Nights have lost their darkness. Nightingales have lost their singing. Waters have lost their coldness. Winds have lost their wavy breezes. Beauty has lost its splendor. Knowledge has lost the joy of edification. Mankind has lost his threats. Thank you. This was introduction of my book. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any comment about my dict or my piece of dict?
أستاذ صبري الآن دوزيام سكند تورن.
يو.
دوزيام
قراءة ثانية.
القراءة الثانية تكون سريعة. نبدأ مع براين إذا عند أحدنا سؤال إلى براين.
Now we come back.
براين لا يمل من اسأله يعني على هذه الطاقة الغريبة، إنه لا يمل الرجل من الرسم حول فلسطين. يعني عنده يعني عقلية وصبر كبير جدا، يعني لا يمل. يعني دائما براين continue your painting about the Palestine. It's very 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 nice. يعني ممكن تتطرق للنقطة هذه أستاذ صبري. يعني ما الروح اللي يمتلكها، رغم أنه طبعا هو يقول يعني في حواراته معي، يقول عندما يرسم براين قال أنا أشعر أيضا بالتعب، لأنك عندما تنقل المأساة فأنت لا تنقلها يعني مثل الآلة، تشعر فممكن تسأله حول هذه النقطة وتخليه يتحدث عنها.
No. Now we come back to Mr. Brian Carlson as a painter or an artist. And I want to ask you if you have tried painted before on any other subjects, for example, abstract or another styles, not just about Palestine in general. Have you another working, painting, or just you paint about Palestine?
Yeah, my mic's on. Okay. Yes, no, I went to art school many years ago, university, and got my 2 degrees there, a bachelor's and a master's degree in painting. And like most artists back then, and this was, I got my master's degree in 1980, so I'm 70 years old, so quite a while ago. But like most of my fellow artists that graduated then, we tried to get into the galleries. I was living in Dallas, Texas at the time. That's where the university was. And was painting abstract paintings, yes, because that was very much the phase at the time, I guess. There were figurative artists as well, but abstract painting seemed to be very important then. And so I got into the galleries and was selling commercially there in the galleries and exhibiting and whatnot. And did that for many years. I progressively felt that just straight abstraction was not so interesting to me and tried to merge that with religious sensibilities I had. I grew up in a Christian family that was very much an active Christian family, so that we took it seriously. In other words, we took Christ's teaching seriously. But then in university, I began reading other things like the Quran and like the Buddhist writings, and started to see that I needed to. I felt there was more to it than just Christianity. Anyway, to get back to the art, I wanted to feel that my art wasn't just some decorative thing hanging on the wall of a corporation. Many of the paintings ended up there in corporations or people's houses, and it's like nice furniture on the walls. That is fine for many people. It wasn't for me. So I tried to find a way that my art could be a healing form. How could it be a healing form? And abstraction, one of the great potentials there is that it can be a very meditative sort of practice. And so I began to make abstractions that I thought had they were sort of meditative. I would say it was an act like Tai Chi is a physical meditation. Painting for me became visual meditation and a physical one as well. All abstract, however. Progressively, that failed to, for me, it failed to connect with the audience in a way I wanted it to. I was selling them. That was nice. It's very nice to be able to pay for your paint, at least with some sales. But beyond that, I felt like people weren't getting the message that I wanted to address. And all these things were happening in society and in the culture. The world was crazy. When I went to school, the Vietnam War was going on. The United States was bombing Vietnam and drafting young people like myself. So I had to be a conscientious objector to avoid getting into that. But in my art, progressively, I was seeing violence against women. I was seeing the homelessness in the United States. Wars all around the world, of course, many of them initiated by the United States or supported. And I wanted to talk more to these things. Also, the environmental problems, the threats to our environment. So my art started to move into this social commentary, we could say, addressing these kind of issues. And progressively, I started doing installations and using, if I did paintings, they would be parts of installations, but having to do with the environment. Violence against women worldwide was very important to me, and I researched that for several years. It's really the largest ongoing human rights violation on Earth, at all times. And women are the least protected. You could put children in with them. Least protected human beings on Earth. So I did work having to do with that, installations, and that took me to Argentina eventually, because I was invited to exhibit this work I had called Handwriting on the Wall. It was a large monolith, basically, on which I had handwritten statistics about violence against women all over the world, and also invited the viewers to write in Spanish these statistics. So it was a very enlightening sort of project, but that in turn connected me to the time period of the dictatorship in Argentina, during which a huge number of women were killed. 30,000 people were disappeared, and probably nearly half of them females, by this military junta that took over in the mid-70s to early 80s. So the violence against women led me to Argentina, where we're studying violence against women in Argentina. I came up on this entire phenomena of this dirty war. It was called the Dirty War. And it merged me into state terrorism as a theme, and I just went on with that, and completely left the commercial galleries, because no galleries want this kind of imagery in their galleries. They don't sell. So I left art as any kind of income and moved over to this art as human rights activism, purely, dropping the rest of it. So I don't do that anymore. Does that answer the question?
No, thank you very much, Mr. Brian Carlson, about your answering to my questions. Now I want to welcome from India Ambassador Dr. Priyanka Niyogi. Good dog. Hey, hello, Dr. Priyanka. Are you with us?
هذه شاعرة من الهند، بس يبدو أن عندها النت ضعيف.
Do you hear me, Priyanka?
It seems that his microphone is off. I think his microphone is not on.
Yes, microphone is closed.
It's closed with her. But anyway, thank you very much again.
مع تيل إذا موجودة.
مين؟
تيل
موجودة. I come back again to Til Kumari Sharma. Hey, Til. Hello. Hear you me?
أعتقد مشغولة. نذهب للأستاذ سمير.
It's so far. Anyway, we go to سمير بيا. مرحبا أستاذ سمير، تحياتي.
مرحبا أخي، مرحبا مجددا. يعني دائما نضم صوتنا صوت الصديق براين، يعني دائما نكون نحن دعاة السلام، ودائما نكون ضد هذه الحرب. يعني هذه الحرب دائما يعني هي لا تبقي ولا تذر، يعني هي ضد إنسانية الإنسان، ضد يعني كل ما هو جميل في هذه الأرض، يعني كل ما هو يعني علاقات جميلة، كل ما هو إنساني في إنسانيتنا. هذا هو يعني الحرب دائما ضد إنسانية الإنسان. نرجو دائما من كل يعني مناصري السلام في العالم أن يقفوا ضد هذه الحرب وضد أينما كان، ليس فقط في غزة. دائما هذه الحروب في اليمن كما نرى في أماكن أخرى كذلك، يعني هذه نار الحرب دائما مشتعلة، ونرجو أن تطفأ، يعني طبعا بجهود هذه المنظمات الإنسانية، كما يعني مجهود الأخ براين، يعني هو يعني ينشط في هذه المنظمات، ونحن كذلك نساعد على الأقل بالكلمة. سأقرأ نص ثاني أخي. أحاول أن أقرأ مقطع فقط لأنه مقطع يعني قصير، لأنه النص طويل. عنوانه صوت الوريد. يا واخزا في دمي، هذا وجهك على بلور الحكايات، ينجلي في الليل المخنوق بالبكاء. هذا حلمك وارف الشجر، يبزغ من أرض تحرق بالغيم. هذا نبضك حارق الصوت، يدق في حناجر البنادق. هذه أجساد الرفاق، غيمات توزعك في الجرح البهي، مطرا مرفوع الأيادي. هذه كفك اليمنى تضخ القلق في شريان الصمت. هذه كفك اليسرى تصفع وجه الشمس الهاربة من عيني غزة. هذه عصافير وجعك الأخضر تنقر دقات قلبي، أسألها عن شجر ضروعك يتسامق على أكتاف الأيام، يتناسل ظله في عيون الليالي. ترقب دبابة تغني للعصافير أغنيات حمراء، تدك عظام الأمنيات وذاكرة الزيتون والخجول. هيا مر على جثة الموت، دع خطواتك تدحرج القمر في أزقة الليل المحاصر. دع قدميك تسكب الشمس على أرصفة الصباح المذبول. إذن شكرا لكم. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the poet Samir Baya from Tunisian. Anyway, he come back and read a very fine poems about Palestine and about the suffering for these people, and reflected his feelings deeply about the situation in Gaza, because he is also write down about the peace, about the human rights in over the world, and especially in Palestine. You welcome and thank you very much, Mr. Samir Baya from Tunisian. Now I want to come back to Teal Komari. Hear you, me, dear Teal.
Okay, thank you. My electricity is gone. Just I started from data, so my profile is not on.
Okay, you can choose poems, one poem or two of your poems, and read it again. You welcome. Barsho, you welcome.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I am going to recite a poem about the war too. Feeders of the war. Short poems are there. The feeders of the war are to cause conflict. The wings to fly in the war are to bring missile and bomb. A new way of causing war from sky to land is joy to winner. But this painful war is wound and killed to poor countries which are victims in the war. The present world is uncontrolled due to the war. The females are raped, the children are orphans, the parents have lost their administered seats of the womb. Weapons of the warriors became the wings to fly the battlefield. No value and identification of the dead bodies are appeared. Okay, another one. Disabled people by the war. People of anxiety and depression are left to live. The conflicts and war have destroyed love, marriage, family, and home. Then people are in of the people. The conflict of the politics has broken the home and the nation and pained conflicts and fragmentation. The unity of community is dismissed. The political love has dismissed the love for family members. Then conflict and insecurity are wide due to politics. Okay, another one. Children, females, and Asian people. The title, the people are misused. Children are accepted without parents. Females are raped and used to by with lover of husband. Due to passion and the lust, the husband forgets the lips are husband and the children. but are later without the respect and fear level. The pitiable condition of the war is on. Again, the war of justice should be to identify with the truth. The war of truth and justice needs to bring the punishment to kidnap innocent people. Then war since should continue. Then war since should continue. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your last.
Thank you.
Are you hearing me? Are you listening?
Yes, we listen to you. But sometimes the sound was not clear. But anyway, thank you very much. Where is Brianka? Brianka disappear now. Anyway, you will come if you come back, Brianka. Brianka, hear you me? Good dog. Hello, good afternoon, Brianka. Are you there?
Very
Ah, here she is.
I'm here actually.
Hey, Brianka.
So, hello.
You're welcome. I want to ask you if you have poems. You can choose one or two of your poem and read it during this time.
Okay, right now I am going to recite my poem.
But before you can recognize yourself in some words.
Okay, may I leave? My light is going on. Data is okay. Okay, bye. See you. Best of luck. Thank you.
Hello, Kumari. Okay, you're welcome. Brianka, your turn. You can begin.
Okay, Namaskar.
Yes.
Okay, Namaskar. This is Priyanka Niyogi. Greetings from India. My hearty thanks to organizer because they are giving me opportunity for today's session. That's why I am here for my poem recitation. So now I am recite my own poem, Nelson Mandela. In the village of Mobejo in Cape Province, South Africa, 15 July 1978 years, a black child was born across a mother's hand. People are all over equal colors. In this thought that the boy's mind grows the seeds of war, name in the anti-caste movement in South Africa. Nelson Mandela's name spurred the melody of peace. Know that to bring about change by fighting, the real warrior tells him there is no discrimination of the color to him. George rose to the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. Revolution has been introduced as a revolutionary. In the anti-racism movement towards the fifth, became known as the leader of the first row, as the anti-caste movement is active in the movement. He was in jail for 70 years. Yet no storm could stop at the speed of the storm. He and his struggle did not stop against humanity. Under his leadership, the racist practice ended in South Africa. The leader of the humanity was released from jail on the 5th. His name was sounded in the victory of the struggle, in the strategy of politics, in the salute of Ranbir. In that year, the love and greetings of the people became the first democratic elected president. 5 years of in the post of president as the first black state chief, he has played a role on the soil of South Africa. South Africa started from racism to democracy. He is of the nationalism and socialism of Africa, the holder of the ideal as president of the African National Congress. By performing the duties of 6 years, he was a human being busy with humanity. The people of Africa had caught him as he had. Cancer was caught on 21st. He received the Nobel Prize in Peace. Great warrior gives on the 21st. The flower is like Nelson. The endure and patience at Mandela's life to bring equality, develop to keep human livelihood, fearless to continue the war of truth, like the special for the Nelson Mandela, honor and devotion to the fighter Nelson Mandela. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Priyanka Nyuji, about your very deep poems about Nelson Mandela. Thank you very much. You will come to this meeting. أستاذ حميد، الآن كيف تريد نقود الاختتام؟ يعني شو الاقتراحات اللي عندك؟ ما هي الاقتراحات التي لديك؟
ميرسي بوكو أستاذ صبري. ممكن أنا أقرأ قصيدة قصيرة جدا وبعد ذلك أنت تقرأ قصيدة ونختم مع براين، نعمل له كلمة هيك
أوكي.
نهائية.
Okay, now we go to Mr. Hamid Oqabi. He want to read his poems. You welcome, Hamid. تفضل.
Thank you. A short poem in Arabic. همس الملائكة. الذين لا يمشون بين الأشجار لا يسمعون همس الملائكة. أنا أنصت وأحاول التقاط صوتك كل صباح ومساء، كأن بوصلتي لم تعد تنفع لشيء منذ خرجت غاضبة. لم أعد أشرب أو أثمل، تداهمني الأحلام تتزاحم تتدافع بشكل فوضوي ثم تختفي فجأة لا أتذكرها. تولد في روحي كلمة من 5 حروف، تولد في روحي كلمة من 5 أحرف. ربما هو اسمك، ربما هو اسمك أو مخلوق آخر. ويشوش البحر لي ثم يصرخ بي اقرأ. يوشوش البحر لي ثم يصرخ بي اقرأ. نسيت لغة الله، أو ربما خلق الله لنفسه لغة جديدة لم يعلمها أحد من أطفاله. Merci beaucoup. شكرا جزيلا أستاذ صبري. Now you are welcome أستاذ صبري، تعمل جزء مشاركتك وبعدين ممكن تعمل نظام دقيقة لكل واحد على فان إذا حبيت بعد ما يتحدث.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamid, who read a very fine poems about his feeling about the angels and many other fantastic feelings. He is a very fine poet and artist and sometimes short stories writer. Now I want to read also a very short poems in Swedish and translate it into Arabic. Dikter av min diktsamling Michael resande segel av Sabri Yusuf. مقاطع شعرية من ديواني روحي شراع مسافر. Närman föds lider ens moder. När moder dör lider modern också. Den här svåra ekvationen orkar jag inte alls bära. يولد الإنسان وأمه تتألم، يموت وأمه تتألم أيضا. هذه المعادلة الصعبة لا أطيقها على الإطلاق. The meaning of these poems is that when the human being burn his mother, burn very much, suffer very, very, very much. And when he died, also his mother suffered very, very much. This situation, I can't accept it at all. Nearly, I translated somehow 50%. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Brian. Now we go to the last bit of the meeting. Everyone can, in details, not in details, briefly, 1 minute, 2 minutes to say what he wants. I begin with Mr. Brian Carlson. What do you want to say in the last of this meeting? You're welcome.
I'd like to say thank you, first of all, to all of you. It's an honor, it's a pleasure to meet new members of my family. I feel so strongly when I listen to your poems, even though I don't understand the language. I understand the heart. I'm with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, now I go to Til Komara. You can say what you want during 1 minute. You're welcome.
Okay, it's very nice program that we are from all over the world to hear our feelings, emotions, humanity, about the concept of war and destruction to the medium of painting, art, and poetry, history. Okay, because of that, I also feel pleasure to meet all of you here as the literary figures, the intellectual figures of the humanity. There is no sense of the gender discrimination. Because of that, I feel very nice, and in future it will be continued, or it will continue in the coming time also. So it's very nice.
Thank you very much, Til Komari Sharma. You welcome to this meeting. If you hear me, Dr. Brianka, if you hear me, you can, during 1 minute, say what you want about this meeting. Dr.
About 1 minute?
Yes, we have 1 minute to say what you
Yes,
want
sir.
to say.
Tell me what
Yes.
I want to say.
You can say about the meeting in general.
Hello?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I hear to you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Hello?
We hear you,
Actually,
but you... Yes.
This program for recitation and literacy, so always try recording, because it is neat and necessary for Assam society. It's true we are standing there, and we improvement and development our society, country, and ourselves. And another matter is recitation. So always remember, recitation depends our thought and subject, and it's not matter what is your voice quality, sound quality, but for improvements, the daily practice is necessary, and good for the good recitation. We do one time our A, B, C, D. That's deeply honest. A, B, C, D. That's need for our. Are you listening? Hello.
Yes, we listen. We hear you. We hear you, Brianka. We hear you.
Picture, this can improve our recitation. we press on to how many full standard is 5 A, B, C, D, E. 5 word is deeply practicing this through. You can improve your presentation. Thank you, sir. Have you any question?
No, I haven't any other question, but you will come to next meeting when we do another meeting. We will call you again. Thank you very much, Dr. Priyanka. Now we go to Mr. Samir Baya. Good evening, good afternoon again, Mr. Samir Baya. مساء الخير أستاذ سمير، الكلمة معك حوالي دقيقة تقدم ما تشاء.
شكرا أخي صبري، شكرا أخي حميد. Thank you for everybody. يعني I am very happy for you. أنا جد سعيد معكم، كذلك أنا ممتن لكم للمشاركة. هي كلمة كما قلنا، هي كلمة ضد الحرب، ضد هذه البشاعة. هي كلمة منا، هي ممكن مجهود منكم ومن الأخ حميد ومنك أخ صبري ومن المشاركين ككل، يعني يشاركون بأصواتهم ضد هذه الحرب. ونحن دائما ندعو إلى السلام، ودائما يبقى الإبداع بشتى أنواعه، سواء كان فنا يعني سواء كان السينما، سواء كان رسما، أنت ترسم كذلك أخي، كذلك تكتب الكلمة، سواء كانت شعرا أو قصة، دائما تكون مدعاة إلى السلام وإلى التقارب الإنساني بين مختلف يعني الأنواع الإنسانية والبشرية. دائما هناك هذا التحابب نسعى إليه جميعا. لما لا، هي ثقافة السلام. وأنت دائما تدعو أخي صبري، دائما من خلال يعني ما تبث على اليوتيوب، وكذلك من خلال إبداعاتك إلى هذه يعني المشاعر الإنسانية العظيمة. شكرا لك أخي صبري، وشكرا للجميع.
شكرا. Thank you very much. Mr. Samir Baya said that I am as Sabri Yusuf always want to spread the peace and the gaiety and the best my working about peace and joy and about the love this way. From another way, we want to say that the word, the painting, the novels, the poems must be about the peace, about the achievement to the mankind in general, because the world in general is one family or big family. We want to contact each other to say no to war, no to war, no to war, yes to peace, yes to peace, yes to peace. Thank you very much. Now I want to let the word to Mr. Hamid Oqabi. By myself, I say I am very happy to meet you. Mr. Hamid, تفضل الكلمة الأخيرة للبرنامج.
Merci beaucoup, merci Brian, merci Samir, merci Tel Karma, Branka, Ustad Sabri, Inch'Allah. Next week, Inch'Allah. Donc, welcome Arab European Forum for Cinema and Theater. Thank you very much. Good nice day. شكرا جزيلا. تحياتي محبتي حميد عقبي باريس. Ciao, merci.
Ciao. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.